Hey everybody. I hope you guys are doing good. Today is Friday. It's October 19th. Um, it is so cold here in New York City right now. Feels like winter, but anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you had a great week. Hope the weekend is going to be good for you guys. Um, I'm doing well. Hanging in there. Uh, I wanted to first start out by talking about something, social media. So, one great way of doing activism is by using social media. And so, one of the things that I like to do is to choose an issue, whether it's the no college issue, or, for example, Leah Remini is going to be showcasing the Jehovah's Witnesses on her Aftermath show. It's going to be aired on November 13th here in the United States. And so, I'm using my Twitter account to draw attention to that upcoming program. So that's what I want to recommend for those of you who have a spare social media account, one that your family members, your JW family members maybe they don't know about it or whatever, and perhaps you can use your social media to again draw attention to this cult and some of the issues. The no blood issue, um, the no college issue is a good example. Again, the Leah Remini expose that's coming up on November 13th is going to be fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And the point is, we want to get as much publicity about that program out as possible. And the reason why it's important is because we want the people who are currently members of that cult to see it and know about it. Hopefully they'll watch it. But we also want the public, the general public, to watch that program so they can be educated about Jehovah's Witnesses. The reason why this is important is because when you look at a Jehovah's Witness like out doing cart work, with their carts and everything, they look pretty normal. They look harmless. When you talk to them, they're pleasant. They're always friendly. When you talk with them about the Bibles, they seem to be knowledgeable. This is one of the things that drew my mom into the cult was that whenever she asked them a question regarding the Bible, they seemed to always know what they were talking about. And every time you turn around, they would, flip them to another scripture. So that was one of the things she liked about them. She felt like they were very knowledgeable about the Bible. So that is why it's important that we educate the public about this cult and let them, become aware of the dangers of this cult. And so social media is a great way to do that. Now, keep in mind with social media, it's not so much that we want the person to, see our post or whatever, or see a tweet, and then they automatically leave the cult immediately. That's not the goal. With social media, we just want to plant seeds of doubt. We want to get them thinking about their cult. If a person is a member of that cult and they don't know about the child sex abuse, cases that are happening right now, they need to be made aware of it. And I'm going to tell you something. I've interacted with several Jehovah's Witnesses, and one of two things: either they don't know about it and have never, they aren't aware of it, or the second thing is they are aware of it and they're saying that it's fake news. It's fake news. And the reason why they consider it fake news is because Watchtower has not confirmed or verified that this has happened for them. So to them, they're saying, well, because it didn't come out of Watchtower, then this must be fake news. Because their expectation is if something like this had actually happened, that Watchtower would tell them. And so because Watchtower is remaining silent on this subject, they're saying, well, this has got to be fake. And so we need to educate them. We need to help them. Again, they're brainwashed, and we have to try to help them see that no, this is not a scam. No one's trying to railroad you. This is, this news is real. And one of my best arguments with that is, compared to the Catholic Church. Whenever the Catholic Church has, a child sex abuse scandal break, the Jehovah's Witnesses, they buy it hook, line, and sinker. They don't question it. When it's the Catholic Church, they get on the platform and say, "Oh my God, did you see this story about the Catholic Church and this and that?" And they go on about it. they have no problem believing it when it's the Catholic Church. So I'm not sure why they question it when it's their own organization that has these accusations. So, again, that's a good way to challenge them. And like I said, I tweeted this a couple of days ago. I asked that, if a Jehovah's Witness knocks on your door, the first thing you should ask them about is the child sex abuse cover up. Ask them if they're aware of it. Make them talk to you about it. Don't talk to them about whatever message they want to discuss. You make them talk about the child sex abuse. And again, they need to demand answers from Watchtower. If you're telling me that this is a scam, then why hasn't Watchtower sued anybody for slander? That again, that's what we need to question them. We need to get them thinking and make them you know really start questioning Watchtower. All right. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about first is that please use your social media. Again, if you have a secondary fake account, if you can tweet or, using Instagram, post information about the Leah Remini program that's going to be coming up on November 13th. That would be great. If you can also tweet or post on Instagram about other issues, human rights issues like the no blood policy, the no college policy. If we could just bring as much attention to the public about this cult, that would help. And the end game, the bottom line, result that we're looking for is we want to get current members to think about this cult and to research the information we're presenting to them, and we also want to keep the public from joining this cult. All right, so that's the primary goal in doing this. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk about with you is, okay, and this is, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this, or how I'm gonna to what I should call this topic, but I'm gonna do the best we can. So here you go. So let's suppose you're 18 years old, right? You're a legal adult, and you now want to leave the cult. You had enough, and you just want out. Um, And so what happens is, someone who you are friends with already, that says, "Hey, I have an idea to get you out of the cult, and you can get away from your family, and we'll just get married, and we can just go live happily ever after. Let's do it. You're 18, you don't have to get parental consent. We can just get married, and you're out of your house. You're home free." I discourage this. I discourage this, especially if you're a young lady. Do not get married. And when I say this, this is not out of disrespect, or this is not like throwing shade on anybody, or accusing the any significant others that of ill will, or being questionable, or anything like that. It doesn't, that advice does not have anything to do with the person who has your boyfriend, or whoever, the significant other, whoever that person is. It has nothing to do with that person. um, Cults are very controlling, organizations. They're very controlling. If you've been homeschooled, that's another controlling environment. You understand, you've been so sheltered and closed in, and closed off from the public, that sometimes you want to get out no matter, at all costs. So you'll do anything. I just need to get out of this house. And that's a very dangerous time to make decisions. You should not make any commitments or anything when you're feeling that desperate. So the best thing to do is to leave the cult. If you have to move out of out of your home to do that, if you're living at home with your parents and you have to get away from them in order to be free of the cult, then you should do that. But you should not get married. In other words, don't make any commitments to anyone. And the reason why you should wait is because after you've escaped a controlling relationship, like being a member of a cult, you need time to breathe. You need time to unwind. Cults layer identities on us. For example, we have to have the fruitages of the spirit. We have to, our dress has to be modest and all of this stuff. So you're free. You're free from all of that. Get, you know, in other words, instead of taking on the identity and the responsibilities of a marriage and being a spouse, just breathe. Just, Take a moment to enjoy your independence for a while. And especially if you're 18, at that age, you really need to be thinking about going into trade school or to college. So, the last thing you want to do is make a commitment to marriage just so you can get out of your parents' home or a cult. And keep in mind, because you're 18, you don't need marriage. If you don't want to be part of a cult, just tell them I don't want to be part of a cult. You don't need a marriage to do that. All right. And the same thing, if you want to leave home, you're 18 years old, you're free, you're a legal adult. Tell them I don't want to live here with this. I don't want to do this anymore. Either we need to come to some type of agreement. I want to live my life and I want to go to whatever it is you want to do. You want to go to college, you want to go to trade school, whatever it is you want to do, you need to explain that to them and explain to them that listen, either we work it out so that I can remain at home and pursue these goals, or I need to move out. Even if you move in with a worldly relative, that's you've gotta start figuring out how you're gonna make your way out, right? But you don't want to make any commitments. And the same thing with the person who asked you. I mean, let's suppose it's a boyfriend who asked you. Say, fine, I do want to move out, but I don't want to get married. So can we move in together? Can we, help each other out? You find a place to live, and you each help out and contribute towards the rent or whatever. But you don't get married. Don't get married. Just move out. And the important part is when you leave the cult, you need to leave all the cult's rules and all those things behind. You're no longer a member. So you need to let go of that. You don't the thing where we're trained that the only way you should you know have sex is being married and all. You have to let all those things go, right? And so what I've seen happen is that people still follow the rules of the cult, saying they want to leave the cult. So you you have to let all of that go. You have to all the rules, you have to let you leave it all behind. And that's why I don't want you to get married, because getting married, you're still following the rules of the cult. You're saying, I can't. It's against the cult's rules for me to live with this person if we're not married. Blah blah blah. So I'm going to marry him first. No, you don't owe the cult, to follow its rules any longer. So no, you should not be following the rules of the cult, in order to move out. The other thing that is important, especially for women, sometimes we get married because we want security. We want a man to take care of us, to provide for us, and all of this, and to love us, and all of this stuff. It is very important that you be financially independent. You don't want to go into a marriage where you are relying on this man to put a roof over your head and food off the table, because it's a terrible way to live. It's a terrible way to live. So you need to make sure that you are always financially independent, that you have your own source of income. It's very important. And like I said, the last thing you want to do is get out of a cult and then get into another controlling situation, because now you're married to someone and now you're financially dependent upon them. So you went from one controlling situation to another, and that's what you don't want to do. You want to be independent. So, and you don't want to be controlled. You don't want someone always telling you again, it's with the cult doctrines. I mean, we're as Jehovah's Witnesses, we're told that the head of woman is the man, right? So imagine if you get married and this guy's thinking you're going to stick by those same training, you're going to stick by that same move. So now you have someone basically who is considers themselves your head, telling you what to do, what you can and cannot do. And that is not a good idea. Again, once you leave the cult, you need to leave all the teachings of the cult behind. As far as with the husband-wife relationship, I know in the cult it tells you that man is the head of women. Since I left, I'm like, we're equals. That is my policy. That's my belief. We are equals. We can work together and reach a decision together. We compromise equally. That's what marriage is. And if anything other than that, I don't accept it. I don't follow it. I don't believe it. It's not. You're not going to run that past me. It can be in the Bible or any other holy book you want to bring out, but it's not. It's not going to work. So I really strongly encourage you. Please, please, please First thing you do after you leave a cult is give yourself some time. And I'm going to tell you, for the first 4 years out of the cult for me were a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster ride. So that's what I suggest. Don't make any decisions. That's another thing. When I was so emotionally upset, I was most of the time angry, but I miss my family as well. So it wasn't, like I said, I was an emotional wreck. And that was the worst time to try and make decisions, lifelong decisions. Getting married, any kind of commitment, it's the worst time to do it. So that's another reason why I strongly suggest if you are, 18 years old, please do not use marriage as a way to leave the house. If you want to leave the house, you don't need a marriage to do it. You just need to tell your parents, listen, I'm not. This is over. I can't do this anymore. This is not what I want to do with the rest of my life. All right. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I will respond. Again, I'm trying to think of anything else that I can share with you on this subject. But yeah, if you want to leave the house at 18, you don't need your parents permission anymore. You don't need to get married. You don't have to legitimize it. You just tell them, listen, I'm an 18-year-old adult. I can make this now. My life is my life. It's my decisions. I don't have to ask for your consent anymore. And you have to be okay with that, and you need to make your parents okay with that. And even if your parents are not okay with that, that's on them. But it's still you. This that's the transition that you're no longer a minor. You're an adult, and you don't need to ask for their permission. And that is very, very important. That's important for you. It's important for them. And the reason I say it's important is because if you don't draw that line quickly, they will still be trying to tell you, okay, we want you to be a pioneer now. You're graduating from high school. We want you to go into the pioneer work. Okay, we want you to go to Bethel. Bethel's where you belong. They're going to just try to keep pushing cult activities and cult life on you. And if you don't put a stop to it, they'll just keep pushing it. And it's kind of like quicksand. I mean, if you don't get out of there quick, you're gonna go under. You're gonna go under. And so that's why I do these videos, is because I don't want to see you drowning in quicksand. I want you to realize, hey, listen, if I don't get my exit strategy, planned out and start acting on it quickly, before you know it, they're going to be dictating to me my whole life. I'll be 25, 26 years old, and they'll still be trying to tell me what I can and cannot do. So that's why it's so important. All right. So I hope this helps. Have a great weekend. And until next time, take care. I love you guys. Bye.